Yeah. Boom to the hey, all you sports fans out there in the tubosphere, to you, the individuals, part of the collective. Welcome to Fast Track Sports Rock Highlights here on talk radio version of the OMSR. I'm your brief but concise host, Will, the alternative ESPN Sports Row. Talking briefly and concisely, what was thought of the NatChamp game earlier today, on the herd with Colin there in lovely Pasadena, there by City Hall, and the kick-ass, cool-looking Spanish architecture. Here in the SoCal area, you've certainly spent some time in Pasadena. And to the rest of you, you know, if you ever get a chance, come up to LA. Definitely Pasadena's worth a visit. All right, just a reminder, sponsor of the OMSR is the DMCA, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It covers a fair use standard, minimal use, and derivatives. So all the video highlights courtesy to The Herd and Colin, ESPN in general. Everything else over here to the OMSR. But the beauty of it was, this particular show, Lou Holtz is on the set. They're talking their thoughts about, before the game, you know, early this morning, and if you're watching this a week from now, that being Monday morning, January 6th, no worry about this game getting rained out. We haven't had, it's rained twice so far this winter in SoCal, like itty-bitty showery. We're so behind on rain. So another typical Sunday morning there, but it was Colin's, Lou's, and Jameis Winston's birthday all on the same day. Now, if that wasn't some kind of a portend, you tell me. So you look at it before the fact, now after the fact type deal, because this is going up after the game. The show for that kick-ass fourth quarter won't be ready to go until won't be done, that is, until about 9 or 10 o'clock Eastern. This is a cool little snapshot into who was thinking beforehand and what. Thanks for watching. No silly DUIs while you're out there. Roll clips.
I'm dropping the hammer on Georgia Tech punter Sean Poole, who came up a little short on this fake punt in the Music City Bowl. Watch out for the turf monster, bro. He'll gobble you up. To be fair, the Ole Miss defense looked ready to pounce all over this one anyway. Face planting into the turf might actually have been the safe move. A+ for innovation. The sledgehammer's coming down on Ken Griffey Jr.'s son, Trey, for making us all feel really old. Trey caught 2 touchdowns in the Independence Bowl, but seriously, the kid has a kid? Junior has a junior? It's bad enough LeBron James kids are already better than us at hoop. What's next? Son of Tom Benjamin Brady throwing a touchdown pass against the Jets? And the jackhammer's coming down, and everybody's saying Johnny Manziel is the next Brett Favre. It's easy to dominate like Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl when you're up against a bunch of dudes who will be working in cubicles next year. Johnny football was great for college, but try jumping on J.J. Watt and then making that play. Hope the view's nice when you're launched into space.
Downtown Pasadena for the 2014 BCS National Championship game.
There's your City Hall right there.
Colin
Beautiful
Cowherd
drive in and around the whole area.
Radio.
And ESPNradio.com.
It's the Herd on ESPN Radio. Wherever you may be, however you may be listening, thanks for making us part of your day. Presented by Progressive. All of our guests via the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. Simulcast as always on ESPNU. It is an absolute pleasure to join somebody, one of the few people on earth that loves college football more than I do, the great Lou Holtz. Now, in Southern California, many people unfairly think he is tough on the USC Trojans, and you have nothing but love for the Trojans.
I absolutely, USC, University Spoiled Children, I think. No, hey, I want to tell you, we got some UCLA people here, Colin. I want to tell you, the reason most people go to USC rather than UCLA because it's easier to spell.
All you're doing is poking them in the ring.
Hey, we have fun. I have great respect for Southern Cal, and they've had a great program. We had great games with them when I was at Notre Dame.
Okay, so you get to a game like tonight. Lou, I got a freshman quarterback for Florida State. And I know he's great in ACC games that start at noon, and a few people watch. It's the national championship. What would you tell Jameis Winston as he walks on the field tonight?
Be yourself. Just go out there. This isn't any different than anything else. You proved it through 12 games. Your first game, you completed 25 out of 27 passes, and you're great. You don't have to prove you're better than everybody else in the world. The biggest worry I have is when they win a Heisman, they think they got to go out there and be spectacular. Don't. Just go out there and play your own game. Be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else.
Now, we know, Lou, that a lot of people in the football industry say, listen, Florida State overall has more good players, but Alabama's probably got more good players than Oklahoma. The game is changing. It's evolving, the spread. When I look at Auburn, and I like Auburn tonight, I look at their offensive line, and I think it could control the game.
Well, you're absolutely right. Their offensive line is unbelievable, and their left tackle might be the best football player I've ever seen as an offensive lineman, no doubt about it. But you hear all this. Well, Florida State didn't play the schedule. If I saw Jimbo Fisher, that's what I'd say to the team. Oh, they talk about they played Alabama, they played all these great quarterbacks. Let me tell you something. We play against better people every day. They never had to cover a receiver like Benjamin. Our defensive backs have had to do that. So when you go against one another and you have great offense, great defense, that's why I think the tempo and the pace of play is not going to affect Florida State whatsoever. I think they're going to play an outstanding game.
Neither of these teams historically travel out of the South to play. Now they're coming all the way cross country. I remember a few years ago when Nick Saban brought his team here against Texas, and Alabama in the first quarter was nervous. They tried a fake punt. It didn't work. Do you think we'll get a well-played game or a kind of a sloppy game tonight? Well,
you have a different team every week. I said, how else do you account for somebody, Notre Dame beating a Michigan State and a Michigan beating a Notre Dame? You have a different team every week. I think it'll be a very competitive game. I think it'll be a fiercely competitive game. And I think Auburn has a chance to win. I really and truly do in this respect. Florida State ends the season, they say, we really don't have a weakness. We can run the ball, we can throw the ball. We're number one in scoring. Offense, number one in scoring. Auburn says at the end of the season, we got to improve. Our defense has to get better. Our passing game's got to get better. And I think they will make more progress from the end of the season to this game than Florida State will, which gives them a chance.
It's very interesting. Auburn is averaging 48 points and leads the nation in rushing. What's amazing about that is they didn't even find themselves until about week 6. And so against the SEC, where they were unranked till mid-October, so you're getting two Auburn teams. The Auburn team I like tonight over the last 5 weeks has just dominated offensively a lot of great defenses. Lou Holtz joining me, the Herd on ESPN Radio Live in Pasadena. What do you make? Let's say you ran a program today, and I'm watching Oklahoma, and they look so much faster than Alabama. And Alabama's big and they're strong, but I watched the game today. If you took over a program today, would you go traditional or would you do the Bob Stoops, the Auburn, the Oregon? Would you go spread?
It would be dependent upon the talent and ability. If I went to an academy, and I'm not going back into coaching. I mean, I'm so old now, my birthday candles cost more than the cake. But if I were, and I were, say, go to an academy, I'd run what I ran at William Mary and NC State to Twin Beer. Why didn't you run it after that? Because they wanted you to recruit a great tailback. I think you have to look and say, what's our talent level? What can we do best? What do we have to do to beat the best team on our schedule? You don't worry about beating our sisters of the poor. You worry about beating the best team on your schedule, and you have to gear your offense and defense. I like to be able to run the football. I think when you run the football, you're establishing the fact that you're superior and you can control the game regardless of the weather.
So I'm going to just throw a few random college football things at you because tonight's the final, the bow on the present.
Can I interrupt you?
Sure.
Okay, I did the Sugar Bowl. I did the Oklahoma.
Yes.
I did that. And I want to tell you, from the first moment, Oklahoma had something to prove. They wanted to be there. There was a love, there was a feeling, there was excitement. Somebody make a play and everybody would hug them and grab them. You could just feel the electricity on that team. Alabama, not so much.
I agree.
Because they didn't have anything to prove and they were out there to play a football game. And when you have a purpose like Oklahoma did, number two, we underestimate how much an individual can improve from the end of the season to the beginning. Let's take Trevor Knight, the quarterback at Oklahoma. For the year, he completed 52% of his passes, threw 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He gets in that game, he looks like he's all world. He throws for 350 yards, 70% completions, 4 touchdowns. He was a different quarterback. But the emotion and the togetherness, and they had something to prove. I think Auburn has something to prove. That's why I think it's going to be an exceptionally competitive game. I think Florida State might be the best football team that I've seen statistically. But they haven't played the people that Auburn has.
Instead of going to topics, here's a better one. You know, it's my 50th birthday today. And it's a birthday for you today. Lou Holtz and I share the same birthday.
No way. Hey, right on.
It's the feast of the wise men, but let me give you one more. You know who else's birthday is today?
Who?
Jameis Winston, the quarterback of Florida State's birthday. I don't think he and I were mixed up in the birth at the hospital.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think I'm a little bit older than him, but yeah, it's his birthday also.
Okay, so, you know, it's your birthday, and I know you're just dying to read this book I wrote. I mean, I know it's so, you just can't wait to read my book. It's all football. So, listen, Lou, this has got to be like the biggest day in your career. How about I sign a book and you just go home and throw it in the garbage?
Ladies and gentlemen, just looking at this book very briefly, if you read it, you will be like me. You will not need a dictionary. There are no big words in here.
None.
Okay.
Do you have anything for me, by the way?
Yes, I do. As
What
a
do you
matter
have?
of fact, well, first of all, I brought this thing here. It's for your birthday.
Oh, it's so
And
nice.
because you love Andrew Luck so much, I have this Colt clock
Yeah,
for you.
yes.
And
For the record, you don't talk a lot of NFL. Is Andrew Luck the best young quarterback you've seen in a long time?
yeah, I think so. I thought his performance in the second half was unbelievable. After throwing 3 interceptions, to come back and lead them, be down 38-10, and come back and win that game, that was incredible. And you know, Reese Davis has been on Andrew Luck's bandwagon since he was a sophomore, and we made a bet at that time that he would be drafted higher than Tim Tebow was when he was a sophomore. And he's turned out to be a great quarterback. But I'm not. I don't think you're going to be able to beat. I don't think you're going to beat New England up there this week.
Yeah. That was a very nice gift for me. Thank you so much, Lou.
You're more than welcome. And I also want to say this. I congratulate there's people like you that make athletics special because you talk about it and you have a passion for it. And I just want to say I appreciate you.
Lou Holtz, everybody.